my babies, welcome back to another episode of The Spiritual Word. I'm sorry if the angle is a little bit weird. I can't see, so maybe, hold on. Maybe that's a little bit better. So anyways, and that's for, obviously the visual part of this, but anyways, digress. Thanks for tuning in and tapping in. Welcome back. If you're new, I recommend subbing or following if spirituality is something you're interested in, or life is something you're interested in, or something that intrigues you. Anyways, I like to start these off with a disclaimer by stating that these are for entertainment purposes only. To always do your own research, to come to your own conclusions, to make your own decisions, to have your own answers, and I believe in your ability to be your own person. Also want to start these off by stating that I apologize for any noises in the background in advance and anything of that nature. So, today's episode, obviously, I didn't upload Christmas just because I feel like I needed a break. Mentally, I felt like it was like, I needed a break. So, sorry for not uploading during Christmas, but I hope that you had a good Christmas. And if you don't celebrate, I hope that you had a good 2 weeks without seeing me. Anyways, Happy New Year. And that's something that, I don't know if you celebrate or not. I didn't celebrate it, but Happy New Year regardless. And in today's episode, we're going to get right into what this year or what January has in store for you guys. So, because I obviously already know. I already know. I'm in my brain, so, I already know. Anyways, so for the next 30 days, I'm going to be doing a challenge. I'm going to be hosting a challenge, a 30-day challenge of pure positivity. And what this challenge entails, and if you want to keep up with me or you want to have discussions or talk about this challenge, or if you just feel like chatting or getting personal is something that will be beneficial for you, if you have somebody to keep you accountable, you can go on my Discord and we can start a community together. And that way, I tell you how my day is going, you tell me how your day is going. You tell me some of the things you're struggling with, and maybe I'll make an episode on that. So, with that being said, if that's something you're interested in, go join the Discord. The link to the invite link to my Discord server is in my Instagram bio. And that's where I post all the pictures, if I have something that I've written in a book, or if I have something that, a visual that I don't, post, because obviously I do the audio version of this, it'll be in the Discord. So, and there's a lot of pictures already in the Discord. So, besides that, we're doing a 30-day challenge where we set a goal for ourselves to achieve for the month of January. This could be even the whole year, but maybe you're just starting in January. It takes 30 days to form a habit, or 90 days, something like that. So, what this challenge entails is basically just trying to be as disgustingly positive as we can. Try to be delusionally positive and try to think only positive thoughts. Obviously, this is kind of difficult, which is why it's a challenge and why I'm starting with 30 days and why I'm doing this with my viewers and with my listenership versus just doing this alone, because obviously you guys have to keep me accountable and I'm going to keep you accountable. So I'm going to be uploading 5 days a week this month just to keep you updated on day-to-day experiences. And the last week of January, I'm not going to upload, as I'm going to have that as a recharge week. And then that first week of February, I'm going to tell you how my recharge week went. So it's going to be a check-in with you. And obviously I'm still going to be doing helpful tips and tricks for how-tos, or anything of that sort of thing. I'm still going to be doing the same things I've been doing. I'm just going to do them I guess more often than I have been. So I'm going to upload 5 days, Monday through Friday. I was doing Monday through Friday before last summer, but then I got a job working in this Buddhist retreat center and I had a lot of things to do. So I wasn't able to do 5 days a week. And so I started doing Monday and Friday just because it was easier. But now I'm back to my old schedule because right now I'm having a period of time where I have the ability to do 5 uploads a week. So I'm going back to 5 uploads a week and then having a resting week at the end of each month. So that's the schedule for right now. And I know that the schedule changes all the time, but life is happening all the time, and I have no excuse. So regardless, I'm still uploading. So basically, the challenge is to just be positive and to have the delusional thinking that everything that I want is here and now, and that everything that I could ever possibly imagine, I'm getting right now, right as we speak. So we're going to be really delusional. We're going to feed this into the manifestation portion of my podcast just because I feel like this is what it feeds into, the manifestations or like manifesting process. So I'm going to be showing you a manifesting process that people claim works for them. So this is why I'm doing it with you guys, just so that we can do it together and so that we can keep each other accountable and so that it looks, like, I don't know why I said looks, so that we're really person to person on this and so we can show each other that we're going to be able to do whatever we put our mind to. And so with that being said, we're going to jump into today for me. So today's, I guess, how today went. I'm going to do a check-in with you every other day. Probably once a week. I'll probably do another check-in Friday just to tell you how my week went. But basically, I woke up today and I was really grateful. I went to sleep grateful and I woke up grateful. And I had a lot of dreams in between. I have so many dreams. And it's really weird to me when people are like, I don't remember my dreams, because I remember every single one of my dreams. Not to like the extreme extent of like I can recall it super amazingly, but I remember the dream after I wake up. Like, I can sleep, dream, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, I just dreamt, and this is like the story. But if I don't recall it right then and there, like if I go to sleep and I'm dreaming and then I wake up and then I'm like, oh, who cares? I just dreamt, but who cares? Then it's gone like that fast. I can remember like the gist or like the picture of it, but I don't remember the plot, the story, the characters. I don't remember what we were saying. I don't remember what we were doing. But I had a lot of dreams last night that somebody was trying to break into my car and steal my car. I'm like, what does that even mean? I don't know what that means, but kept having dreams about that. And then I had dreams of like protecting my family. Then I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I'm like, what am I protecting my family for? And I think I looked that up the other day just because I have a lot of dreams where I'm protecting my family from like killers and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't understand, but I think it means that I'm protective of myself in some way from stopping myself from being vulnerable with my family, which I don't know how that translates. I don't know how dreams translate. I don't know how that works, because when I dream and I have something in the dream, I'm like, oh, this means this. Then I connect it. I'm just like, I like my meaning more. But anyways, basically, I woke up today and I was super duper grateful because I'm setting myself out on a positive track and I want to start this year off on a good note. And I feel like I'm on a good note. Like, I feel like I've come very far in my mental work to say that, like I woke up today and I was actually grateful. Like, I actually did that. And it's something that I've had a lot of difficulty with for a decent amount of time. Like, for a decent amount of time, I was very emotionally irregulated, very mentally irregulated, or like irregular. And for once, I can actually say that like I feel like I'm grounded. And obviously, no one's grounded 100% of the time, but today, so far, I'm only a couple hours in. Fingers crossed, today's a good day, And I can say that because 30-day challenge. Today is going to be a good day. Today is a good day. I am having a good day. And it's something that feels really intangible. Like, I feel really, really grateful for today just because I feel like I've come really far in my mental work. And before today, there's been a lot of days where I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, I'm going to be grateful. And then I wake up that day and I'm like, I don't want to be here. And it's like a huge leap. Like it's a huge jump to jump from I don't want to be here to like I'm grateful that I woke up. And it's a jump that I never thought I'd get to, and it feels really good to say that like I'm here. And I I'm not gonna lie to you, I've recorded this 3 times. Why? Because I find that it's fun. Because I like to just fucking rant and talk about absolute nonsense. And something that doesn't really interest a lot of people. And because of, you know, all those things, like it doesn't really affect me. And I think I'm really proud of how far I've come and who I have become and what I'm doing and the way that I'm doing it. And like I'm really proud of myself for like sitting here and recording this episode because I feel like in a year my life is going to look a lot different. And I'm going to be proud that I was here sitting down making these episodes and not really caring about the outcome. Like I'm just here, I'm just living the moment, and before living in the moment would stress me out. Like it would stress me out. Just because I'm like, I need to be making money, I need to be making moves, I need to have all these big, things. Like I have so like my expectations for myself are so high. I can't even say were, because they are still super duper ridiculously high. But I've been able to sit down with myself and be like, it's okay that I haven't achieved all these things that I assumed, like my kid version of myself assumed that I would already have everything I've ever wanted at this age. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I just got out of high school. Maybe not just, but in the grand scheme of things, like that's just a tiny portion of my life. And, there has been some things that I do regret. Like I do regret not taking school seriously and but I'd be on a whole different path than I am right now, and I don't regret the path I'm on. So that's what I mean by like I'm really, really proud of myself and really proud of how far I've come and why I enjoy doing what I do so much and why I'm kind of like over letting the things that used to stress me out because I'm here and I don't like to be that cheesy person and be like everything happens for a reason, woo. But I feel like things happen the way that they're supposed to happen. Not that they're supposed to like go a certain way, but you make your choices and I'm kind of okay with the choices that I've made. And I'm accepting of myself and how much I fucked up as a person because those fuck ups led me here. And I wouldn't change where I am for anything. And I think it's a really good start to this 30-day challenge because I don't feel like it's a lie. And most of the time, people who have a hard time manifesting, the reason that they have a hard time manifesting is because they feel like it's a lie. They feel like I'm just putting on a show, I'm just putting on an act. I feel like this is just bullshit. And how am I supposed to be positive if I really don't feel positive? And for a long time, I felt that same way, but after a while of trying to be positive, you try and you succeed. Like that's how that works. When you're trying to do something, you're succeeding because you're doing more than somebody who wants to do it but who doesn't do it. Like, and that was another huge milestone for me. Like a big realization that the fact that I'm here trying to make content, not for the sake of like being rich or being famous or woo, like that shit doesn't matter to me because even if right here, right now, I had $1,000,000 I could just throw at somebody, what would I be doing? Like, would I be doing something different? And the answer that always came into my head was probably not. I probably would not be doing anything different. People are always like, oh, I want to travel, I want to do this, I want to do that. You don't necessarily need money to do that. And traveling seems nice, but at the same time, I like my Wi-Fi. And I am a huge, huge, disgusting homebody. Like if couch potato was a thing, that's my whole existence. Like I'm literally in sweatpants and a sweatshirt. Like this is my comfort. And if I had the money to go get Gucci or Prada or whatever, something really, really expensive, I probably wouldn't. Just because I go for comfort over style. And this is something that most people know. Like, If you know me in real life, you know I don't give a damn about those things. And it's very freeing to know that even if I had everything that like everybody craves, like everybody craves money at the very least. Like I feel like everybody craves money unless you're like really enlightened. You're like, I don't need it, like unless you're not really materialistic, that doesn't really affect you. Obviously, like I'm not talking to you, not talking about you, but like I feel like for the most part, majority or like how do I put this? Average Joe craves money. Obviously, because the average Joe is out there making money. So I feel like I'm proud of myself for moving away from that type of vision that I saw in myself and stressing myself out over not making enough money. Like I had 3 jobs at one point in like 2021, and I was still stressing over money and how much more I could be having. And, but also wasn't saving. Like I wasn't. Yeah, there was stuff that I regret, but there was also stuff that I don't regret. And I also just finished this book on karma. I'm like really rambly right now just because I feel like that's just my personality. Like I have no concise way of saying things. Like nothing about me is very clear. So you're gonna have to deal with that. Not really, but like kind of are. But anyway, so I just finished this book on karma, and I was trying to get to an understanding of like, okay, how does karma work? What does it mean? And basically, it it's hard to say because in the book itself, it's like karma is something that we don't understand, and this is life, and but it's not really like it's like me trying to get something out concisely. It's like it just doesn't happen. And so the way that the book describes karma, it's like karma in definition means action. And if you do something bad with the intention that it's bad, then it's really bad. And if you do something bad, but with the intention that you don't know, then it's less bad. And if you do something bad, but you think that it's a good thing, then it's less bad. And karma is like a scale. That if you do something good because you want to do something good, it creates the utmost, like, amazing karma. Like, you get really good karma for that. And if you do something good for the intent that you're like, I don't really care, I'm just doing this to do this, then it's less good. And if you do something good for a bad reason, then obviously it's bad. Right? It's like everything is dependent on how we use it, and I'm pretty sure that's a very common trait, a very common theme in life. And then something that I read in the book really, really stuck to me. And it was also talking about like, oh, we don't really know what karma is, but life has its kind of like sways and its like irregulation. And basically it was talking about how nothing is perfect. And because nothing is perfect, we exist, and therefore we can't explain what karma is because we're not perfect, and we want to put perfection in its place. Like we want, like the OCD in us wants to know the definition of what a word means. The OCD in us wants to know the definition of like, why do I wear clothes? Why do I have this? Why? And the curiosity in us can't be satisfied. Like unless you're somebody who's like okay with not knowing things, you're never going to be satisfied with what you don't know. You're always going to want to know, especially if you're somebody like me who craves information, or who loves educating themselves, or loves like just learning. And karma itself was talking about, I just heard a dog in the background. Karma itself is just that thing. It's this unseen force that links your actions to the next. It's like everybody is connected in a series of strings, but there has to be like an order to the chaos. And because our world is imperfect, the way that we make things perfect is to add order. And it's kind of the way that I thought about this. I was like, okay, like if we have a society, the way to give it order is to put law and government. Or at least like right now, like that's what we've been thinking, that's how we've been thinking of it. So that's how I kind of like connected karma to like actual life and stuff like that. And basically when I finished the book, I was sitting there, I was contemplating, and I was like, okay, So karma is basically the law that governs the universe, because obviously if you do something bad, you have to have a consequence, or else we're just gonna go off willy-nilly, destroying everything and never getting to, be able to have a part where we're creating instead of destroying. So that's what karma is. It's just like an order. It's just like a rule book. And that rule book needs to follow a series of orders and a series of guides, which are also different forces. Like karma isn't just one thing. Karma is like a series of actions or a string of things, because nothing can just exist on its own. But anyways, I digress. So basically, for the start or the first day of the 30-day challenge, I'm doing extremely well. And I'm seeing a bird in the sky, which obviously everybody sees birds in the sky, but we're gonna be delusional. We're gonna say that that's a sign, okay? And we're gonna be delusional and be delusionally positive and say that we got everything in the bag, because we do. Because it's all about believing in ourselves, because when you believe in yourself, you actually get up to do the things you need to do, right? Like if I didn't feel like getting up to shower, why would I get up to shower? So be delusional, because it is helpful in at least one way. And if it's helpful in at least one way, it's helpful in at least 5 ways. And you never know. This action, us being delusional, could lead to bigger and better things. So you never know. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in and tapping in to the spiritual word. As always, my babies, I hope that you have a good day, a good night, whenever you're listening, whenever you're watching, whatever platform you're on. If spirituality is something you're interested in, or any of these topics, then I recommend subbing or following whatever platform you're on. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.